Let's take a few moments to meditate together, to feel ourselves centered in our hearts. Observe your breath. Feel how your breath gradually calms and your thoughts gradually become still. If you know Hong Sa, you can practice that. Imagine or visualize a ray of light that's coming into your body through the medulla oblongata. This light concentrates first in your heart center, bringing a sense of peace and calmness, expansion, and universal love. Bringing a sense of oneness with all people, all creatures, all creation. And then as you inhale, draw this light up to the spiritual eye, feeling that from this point you can radiate outward in all directions this sense of peace and love, the divine light. This is our goal in this time together, to attune ourselves perfectly to this ray of divine light, that we may be channels for the whole world. So let's just take a few more minutes in silence. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Thank you, Gitanjali. Thank you. So, I would like to greet everyone too, wherever you are in the world. What a wonderful idea and image to think of talking to somebody in the United States, in India, here, anywhere in Europe. So welcome to all of you if you're joining us. Swami Kriyananda has written a book, a relatively small book for thinking of his other ones, called Affirmations for Self-Healing. And it is filled with divine qualities, one for every week of the year. And I today opened it at random because I had been thinking of what I would like to say. And because I'm involved in a course right now, my mind was on other things in its own way. And so I just asked God, I asked for guidance, I asked Swami, I asked Master, what topic would you like me to share with people today? And the book opened at positive thinking, which is, when you think about it, absolutely perfect for our world right now. And positive thinking, in some ways, can be considered quite a new agey concept. Think positively about everything, everything will come to you, everything is fine. To some degree, of course that's true, but reading Swamiji's words on the subject, it is very much a question of faith. Positive thinking is trusting and having faith in God and God's will, that whatever is happening is for the best, is for the best of everyone and everything involved. And it goes for us individually in our lives and for anything that's happening globally, like we are involved in today. It challenges us to really think about how could something like a pandemic have, any good for us in this. But God has a plan that we are not necessarily in tune with or in sync with or aware that, something positive could come out of it. But then if you look at what has come out in terms of the pandemic as it's run its course and started up again and will continue running its course, hopefully ending soon, what we see is issues coming up in different parts of the world, and possibly, I think, also for individuals in their lives, that have for far too long been ignored or not looked at. And now we are being almost forced to pay attention to. And a lot of it is a result of what has gone on in people's lives during this pandemic. I think of Black Lives Matter, how people are verbalizing, even if negatively, for right now, verbalizing their desires to see societal changes, even if they're doing it in aggressive ways. Thinking positively is seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, rather than assuming it's all going to stay dark. Think of your own life. When you go through something that is incredibly challenging and demanding and could be considered something very negative and dark, typically when we come through to the other side of such an event, we look back and realize we have grown, we have expanded, we feel stronger because of what we have just been through. In my own life, not that long ago, I was in a very negative situation and in a lot of physical pain. And over a long time, months and months, and it began to pull me down. So I have an innate sense of positivity that I just came into this life with. But even that was beginning to be eroded. I was starting to, I don't know if I can keep up with this. It's very, very demanding. And one day I was in a particularly low place, and I knew that I didn't want to keep going. I need to change this around. I need to do something. And somebody had loaned me a book about the lives of various saints. And I opened it much like I did Swami's book today. Oh no, I had a bookmark in it. I was reading it, and I opened it where I had the bookmark. And I ran down the page, and these words came at me. All is well. Excuse me. It was so powerful for me at the time, it still moves me. But all is well. All was well. All will be well. All is well. And I can't tell you how soothing and comforting and calming those words were to me. And this obscure little medieval saint, she spoke to me of faith, of seeing even in the middle of the darkest, times in life, all is well. All was well. All will be well. All is well. Reminding me that, and us, that all is as it should be according to God's will. Nothing could be happening if it wasn't coming from God. So whatever we're confronted with, we are being asked to work with and live through, not on our own, but with God's grace and the support of God's masters and saints, that they are with us every step of the way if we will remember. Don't suffer, whatever the form the suffering takes, fear, anger. Don't suffer alone. Reach for something, like a book, a recording, a picture, that you can touch and hold, listen to, watch, and be inspired and uplifted to remember your faith again, to remember God's presence and Guru's presence in your life again. Never forget, we're never alone. So positive thinking is remembering that, being positive enough to reach for something and not be resigned and defeated by circumstances. It's us allowing that. A part of us naturally fights it. I need to do something. Do it. Reach for your faith and find that which will inspire you to come back to that. And remember that God is with us all through all of anything, good, bad, however it looks. So, with those words from Master and Swamiji, and the words from I can't even remember her name now, the little medieval saint, let's remind ourselves of God's light within and around us and repeat the affirmation together. God's light is within me and around me.
God's light is within me and around me.
With the sword of faith in my hand.
With the sword of faith in my hand.
With the love of God in my heart.
With the love of God in my heart.
I am a warrior of light.
I am a warrior of light.
I join my brothers and sisters everywhere.
I join my brothers and sisters everywhere.
To overcome fear with faith.
To overcome fear with faith.
Hatred with love.
Hatred with love.
And disease with health.
And disease with health.
Let us fill the world.
Let us fill the world.
With God's light.
With God's light.
God's light is within me and around me.
God's light is within me and around me.
With the sword of faith in my hand.
The sword of faith in my hand.
With the love of God in my heart.
The love of God in my heart.
I am a warrior of light.
I am a warrior of light.
I join my brothers and sisters everywhere
I join my brothers and sisters everywhere
to overcome fear with faith,
to overcome fear with faith,
hatred with love,
hatred with love,
and disease with health.
and disease with health.
Let us fill the world with God's light.
Let us fill the world with God's light.
Now in a whisper, but feel it more powerfully than ever. God's light is within me and around me.
God's light is within me and around me.
With the sword of faith in my hand,
With the sword of faith in my hand,
with the love of God in my heart.
with the love of God in my heart.
I am a warrior of light.
I am a warrior of light.
I join my brothers and sisters everywhere
I join my brothers and sisters everywhere
to overcome fear with faith,
to overcome fear with faith,
hatred with love,
hatred with love,
and disease with health.
and disease with health.
Let us fill the world with God's light.
Let us fill the world with God's light.
And now mentally, stronger than ever, with utter, complete faith in the power of these words. God's light is within me and around me. With the sword of faith in my hand, with the love of God in my heart, I am a warrior of light. I join my brothers and sisters everywhere to overcome fear with faith, hatred with love, and disease with health. Let us fill the world with God's light. And let's set souls, every creature, every atom. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Amen.
Amen.
God bless you all, warriors of light.